Hello. Hello. Okay. What's this dimension? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess. Okay. So, there was no stream on Tuesday because it was so fucking hot here. I was melting. It was really not a good time. Okay. Yes. Okay. And we are having the B pillar like this. Okay. Is it? I cannot tell if it's like this or if it's straight. I think it's like this. Yeah, it's angled like the rest of the structure. Okay. So today our task here is to make the B pillar, the C pillar. I always mix this up. So the C pillar, we started this last time. This time we need to do something in earnest, and that's not gonna be so easy. Thing is that in Christian's design, this thing floats, so it's not connected to anything. That's convenient. And here on top we have literally no way of attaching it like this. So we are gonna have to make the roof here thicker so that we can somehow utilize this pin here to, similar, I guess, similar to the Sierra, attach this here and then here, and then this is gonna be okay. Basically, we just need 2 points to attach it to, and that's gonna be enough. Yeah. So the way I see it on the, okay, it's here. Okay, so it's here, and yeah. What about that direction? Okay, my bad. Needs to be longer. I don't have a longer one. Not in white. So not in white. It's gonna be light bluish gray. So yeah, okay, it's like this, and it has to be here. Yeah, here, and this guy, well, it's gonna be somewhere here. Okay, How do we mount this? I mean, I guess we could do it, I mean, as easy and dirty as possible. Use our old friends here. Put just one of them here. Like this. Like this. And have it, you know, like this somehow. It's not pretty, but it's gonna do the job, I guess. Because I don't see how else we're gonna do this if we want to use this here. Because, you know, we have to use the lift arm, and then we cannot use anything here inside because it clashes with this. Except if we are bold enough to, you know, to kind of force it a little bit. Not sure if we want to, then this guy can be here. And then we have options. Then we can basically, I think it has to be here in the middle of them. And do something with this. We could do this. We could do this. Ideally not, but we could do this. Or we could do even something like this. This would be even better. Roof will be, if we use this, the roof will be a little less clean than it is now, but it's gonna be okay, because this is gonna allow us, if I am not mistaken, yeah, it's gonna allow us to have this guy here and this line. So of course these will have to be smaller to accommodate this part, but it's doable. Evening, Mr. Morty. It's doable, but we have to live with the fact that we bent this panel. So I don't know. What do you think? Should we bend the panel? Should we bend the panel to accommodate our mounting position, or should we keep it like it is and have a mounting position here? So very visible, and here. These are our two options, basically. Because I don't think we can replace this with anything interesting. And with interesting, I mean useful. Everything else is going to be too big. Or it's going to be an axle, which I would like to avoid. Yeah. Then we have to go with this. I mean, it's not much. We're not bending this a lot. Just, you know, just a little bit. It's not even, it's just such a tiny amount of force required. It's not even noticeable, you know. So basically what we do then, we remove this. And we here. And our little friend. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Just a second. So, I mean, a hack that we need to do in order for this to be rigid is this. Oh, come on. Yeah, so that this doesn't move. Now we can attach this guy here. There. And then I discover that it needs to be one stud closer to the center. Like this. Yeah. Okay. That's all right. And then, of course, here we're gonna bridge this gap with, with this, and it's gonna be fine. And we're gonna do an end cap here, and I don't know. We are gonna think of something, And this here we're gonna have a shorter lift arm, and then another shorter lift arm, I guess. Yeah. But at the moment, we have a problem because I don't think this guy here is gonna cooperate. So we need to change this anyway, because last time we discovered that it's not really the best idea. Yeah, I'm thinking loud here because with the wheel attached. Come on. Okay. And yeah, we probably shouldn't have these lift arms here anyway. They are, wait, what? Yeah, like this. They are basically, come on, they're gonna just be trouble. Wait, what? Is this still not? This is still too low. Still needs to be Still needs to be lower than this. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. We'll know once we have all four wheels. Since I need to, this weekend is gonna bleed me a lot. I'm gonna order parts for the Sierra, so we can finish the Sierra and make building instructions for it. And of course, I'm gonna order the wheels here, a differential, and I have to order the Buick stuff because we are basically gonna need it now, and that's gonna be, I don't know, I'm probably gonna spend 400 euros for all of this or more. I don't even want to think of it. King Arthur, we are building an Audi Quattro, um, in 1 to 10 scale. So we're gonna ignore this for a bit. You know, I cannot do anything about it at the moment, and we are gonna focus back at a correct support for this year. Obviously, you know, yeah, obviously this is not gonna do it. It needs to be more rigid than that. So this is gonna be, it should be more rigid than it is. Especially, it doesn't have to do this. It mustn't do this. And preferably, we would like this not to be in the way of the wheel. And then the C pillar is gonna provide the link, you know, to prevent it from doing this. That's the goal. But first we need to do this. And we have to be careful because the motor is gonna be here. So we cannot just arbitrarily do things here. Hey Miran, nice evening to you too. Okay, now that this is out of the way, what can we do? We have to change our approach a little bit, I think. Obviously, we cannot use any of the points of the frame here, but we can use those two. I'm kind of afraid of using stuff like this, for example. If we build it like this, and let's say we put a beam across here, and then attach stuff to this. Yeah, it's gonna be fine, I guess. C pillar, yeah. C pillar needs to be a little bit better than what we're doing now. I mean, last time we as read it as Lego Ferrari, yeah. That's not really the measuring bar, or how to say it. That's really not where we are aiming at. So, what can we do here to make this rigid? We need a brace to be springing up out of this somehow, that is gonna attach to this. Okay. So this is our fender, and this is the way we are gonna attach the fender to something. Benchmark, exactly. Thank you. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. the problem is that we have quite a big gap to bridge. If you look at this, so this is the frame that we are gonna sprout some attachments from, and this brick part here is the part where we can attach stuff to. To be precise, yeah, these two holes. I mean, for better or worse, these two holes, and I don't know how to do it. We have to create a inner fender structure or of sorts that's gonna be basically the weight bearing member. Hey Esho, welcome to the stream. Um, so I'm thinking, since last time we didn't succeed with what we're doing, that this time we are probably gonna do something a little bit different. I am not gonna do an LP Bugatti. That's not gonna. That's not in the roadmap. So, okay. So this hole here, the lower hole, aligns with this hole, and we are gonna build ourselves a bracket of sorts that's gonna bridge the gap from here to here, I guess. But we can have this. Mr. Morty, thank you. You too. Have a great evening. Yeah, we can do this. I think this brings us a lot closer. Uh, Keep in mind that here are gonna be arch elements that gonna basically hide this. This is not gonna be visible. Um, so we have only one stud, one stud to bridge here, which is gonna be easier. Not easy, but easier. And we have four studs. Four studs that we need to bridge. So last time I tried something like this. This time it's not gonna cut it. Not like this. Part of it will work. Part of it will work. But I'm not sure if I want to use this exactly, or if I want to use this one. Now, it all depends on the element I'm gonna choose to combine these two, and how we are gonna combine these two. Because there's some suspension coming up. Yeah, but it's not interfering. Okay, it's not interfering. Four studs, huh? If it was three studs, it would be easy. But because it's four studs, it's not that easy. Right now we are building the rear part of the car. So the part around the C-pillar. Basically, we are trying to first make a connection between this frame and support for the fender, which will form one part, of course, later, and will be a structural member. But right now, since we don't have that element, it's the way it is. But still, we need to make this connection here, so that we can then mount the C-pillar to it. So and then this will, this will then create a rigid, hopefully rigid connection, so that this is not going to happen, just like we managed in the front. Because we're not Lego. We are not satisfied with just looks. It has to also be functional, rigid, because that's how it makes fun. It's no fun if it's sloppy. So 4 studs. We need 4 studs here. It's not gonna be easy. Or is it? What if we combine these two and then make a maybe a 3-stud connection between them? What if we do this? This is surely possible. We create ourselves an element like this, for example. And see how it even fits. Okay. So now it's 3 studs. What the fuck? What am I missing here? Okay, 3 studs, right? No problem. No problem. Then we use it like this. Yeah. Then we use it like this. Yeah, I heard about the tow truck. I also heard about the what's that called? The Zitros, whatever. I have heard about them. I like the pneumatic truck because it doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It's a relatively small scale model with quite many functions, and it doesn't have suspension. So if it doesn't have suspensions, I don't mind. A model like that doesn't need suspension, especially on that scale, and it's fine. It's gonna be rigid enough, and I think the functions are great, and it looks very good. And it's it's one of those Technic models that also looks good. It's not a creator or whatever Lego sells stuff for these days. It's a traditional Technic model with many functions that also looks very good on the shelf or whatever, and I like it. Something's not right here. something is odd, and I don't quite know what. It's difficult to see on camera, but I don't know. This isn't completely straight for some strange reason. Maybe because this is twisting. Maybe. Yeah, it's all twisted. Yeah, it was all twisted. Okay, this is fine. This, I think, yeah, there's clearance for everything, and I think the wheel is not gonna hit anything. I hope. Yeah, that's not gonna hit because we're gonna change this stuff anyway. Um, okay, that's good. Now we remount the pillar, and now we have to make a connection here. Let me take a look at some other pictures of the car. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a few more of these, make a row of them, so that I know where exactly the limit of this is. Just a second. Okay. I even found a white one. Imagine that. Okay. Okay. Let's see. 1 and 3. Okay. So I'm approximating this, of course, by the way Christian imagined it. So this is here. This is the way it needs to go, and it has to be like this. That's the angle that we are kind of aiming for. Yeah. Now it's a two-stud connection, so it's better. Is there such a gap in his drawing? I cannot really see. I think it is. I don't think I have a clear picture of that. Or do I? Maybe. The pictures are not clear, but I don't see any other way of mounting this other than this and us having the gap here. You know, that kind of gap. But at the same time, I noticed that basically what we need to do, I think, no, wait, yeah, what we need to do is we are gonna mount this to this here, not to the not to the panel. So for all purposes here, we can remove the panel right now, and I'm gonna replace this with a longer lift arm. I chose S1, of course, because it looks cool. It has simple shapes that can be easily recreated with Lego. And it has all-wheel drive, because we are gonna need braking as well. And most of the brake force is in the front. So if you would have a rear wheel drive car, and you would have the rear axle driven, all the braking force will be in the rear. So that's no good. Then when you slam on the brakes, basically you drag your rear axle along, because you know it's not gonna do much. It's basically like as if you would pull the handbrake on your real life car. Not gonna really brake much. Anyway, where's the picture? This one. Yeah. Yeah, exactly like this. So we need to find a mounting point for this here, somewhere, somehow. And you know what? This guy here is in the way. What if I put this back on? No, that's okay. I think he made the rear longer. I'm not sure. But I need to put... if we make it work with what we have here, with a shorter version, it's gonna work with a longer one. So I'm gonna put the connector that he uses here on the shorter version of the rear end. And if we make it work with this, it's gonna be okay. Just need to find it. I hope I have one. Where do I? This one is the wrong direction. There must be another one. This one's the wrong direction as well. Oh, come on! I cannot have just these two. There must be one that goes... Ah, there it is. At the very bottom. There's this. Okay. I'm gonna keep this for the other side. As usual, of course. Everything is always at the bottom. Okay. Okay. So that's basically kinda the rear of the car. In Christian's updated design, I think there's two more lift arms here. So this is being pushed back a little bit more. You know, should we call it adjusted dimensions, something like that. But okay, that's not what interests me right now. Right now, I want to mount this so that this doesn't happen. And if we succeed with this, then we can do the other side, and then we have a rigid car. Finally. This is probably gonna be solved somehow with connectors again. And I somehow think that we are gonna utilize this guy. Because the angle here that we have is pretty much perfect. Hey Tabo. Yeah. If we go with the way we did it on the Sierra, and we probably should go with the way we did it in the Sierra. At least, as a concept. Then we basically need this guy here being here, rigidly connected, and then we're gonna have a pinhole connection on this guy, or even better, we're gonna make this lift arm longer by two studs. So another length increase. Then we're gonna mount it to this. And now we have to mount, we have to find a mounting point here. Goodbye. See you in the next stream. Something like this. Problem, of course, is that this bone piece here is in the way. Needs to be lower here, which is unfortunate because this complicates things a lot. No, it doesn't. We can make it. We can make it. We have to only have to modify all of this. Basically, what we are gonna do is this guy here is gonna be replaced by this. And this, this, and this, and hopefully we are back in business with this being lower. There. Now we have no pressure. And before we mount this in its final position, now we need to do our homework. So we need this part here and this part here to be straight. So they should not bend. And we need some spacers. We need some spacers to make the bottom here level. Then we can do this. Before we have this, the results will not be very good. And for the spacers, we're gonna take some of these 3 length connectors. They are perfect. I think 3 studs is the space we need. I hope. This is now the crucial operation here. That will be enough. So, need a few of these. Okay, so now let's add our spacers. In the important parts of the car. Do we need one more? No, not really. There. Yeah, we do need at least one more in order for us not to get the wobble here. Okay. So all the spacers are all the spacers are making contact with the ground, which is good. So this, since the table is flat, this means that these two, so the roof and our mounting point for the C-pillar, don't move relative to each other. Of course, we can do this manually, but the spacers are down there, and if we don't do this manually and we just press down, the spacers are keeping the perfect distance between them. So everything needs to be, everything is basically parallel with each other. Now we can see what fits, if anything fits. So this position here would fit, but it's half a stud. Half a stud up. Because of course it would be. Yeah. Half a stud. Half a stud, my nemesis. So basically, this would fit here. So half a stud elevated from the lift arm. I don't know how to do this. This is annoying. Just to be sure. Yeah, just to be sure, another 3-stud spacer. I can have this at level, but then it's too far in. Yeah, I can have this at level here, but I want it here. That's quite a difference. That's annoying. I mean, in the end, if we have this at level here, I guess we can try it. Let's see. Okay. Spacers are still on the ground. We have the gap here. The gap is like half a stud bigger than we would like, I guess. But you know, otherwise the mounting point here is completely different. This works. This mounting point is great. If we change this, it's not gonna be great. And this, what? No, this can't be that stiff. Holy shit. Okay. I guess it's that stiff. And I have just one side mounted. It's not stiff here if I lift it here, simply because this here is bending a little bit, so we need to, you know, engineer it further, which we are gonna do. But this is quite good, I must admit. This is quite good. You know, this can bend up because this stuff here bends. We do need to do something about that, but first what we need to do is mirror what we did here. Then we can assess this further. But this is nice. This is really nice. And of course, I cannot judge this before I have the other side. But it is pretty stiff already. With just one side done, it's stiffer than the Lego Ferrari. So, you know, tells you a lot about the Lego Ferrari. Yeah, let's do the other side and see. Of course, we need to find a solution for this, which I just found. Come on. Mm-hmm. I don't have the other one, the panel for the other side. Doesn't matter. But yeah. The come on. The twisting of the body happens in the front. So the rear is pretty stiff. The twisting of the body happens here. Here, this guy twists. So here, basically what we need to do here is provide a stiff connection between those two parts. That then this is gonna be a lot twisting a lot less. And we're gonna do this, just not now. But overall, the body feels actually quite alright. See, we need to fix this. This of course happens because these two parts are not connected. We're gonna connect them, and then it's gonna be fine. You know, these two, this is not okay, so we need to connect them, probably with something here on top of this. I don't know how. You know, need to prevent this from happening. This itself is stiff-ish, but you see here, this and this. Ideally, we would have this frame being connected, or not. No, that's not gonna solve the problem. We need to connect this, and of course, it's gonna be connected here in the back as a back panel, but let's not rely on that. So basically what we could do is create a connection via this or something like this, but it needs to be of course half a stud higher than this. so it clears the gear. Problem is that if we do this, then we cannot run an axle to the front for the gear change, and here for the matter. So it needs to be 2 studs higher, which is okay because it gives it a bigger lever. Should be okay. It fits, this guy fits here in between. We're of course gonna use the axles with stop to do this. So we're not gonna fit this in here right now. So imagine axles coming out of this, axles with stop of course, that hold this in place. A 2 stud spacer here, and then we're gonna have something here, don't worry, and then it's not gonna allow this to happen, and this is gonna make everything immediately lots different. I somehow suspect that we still are gonna have to brace this part somehow to the front, because you know, this is not gonna, the brace here is not gonna solve this entirely. No way. Simply because it's flexing here. So what we need to do is basically provide, together with this here, with the B pillar, we need to provide or create a way of this frame not flexing, because right now we are asking everything from this frame. This frame is basically our entire body support, and it's flexing. Of course it is. It's one stud thick. Of course it's gonna flex. I mean, this flexes, and this is longer, of course, and not supported anywhere. Yeah, that was my idea, because you see, a very simple way that we could reinforce this is frame rails, but not on the bottom, on top. And we are gonna use the frame rails for a few things, not just reinforcing everything, but they are also gonna provide support for the Buick's battery pack, for the servo motor, and for the motor that runs the gearbox. So something like this. I mean, it's stupid to have a hole in your car, in the bottom of your car. So we're gonna have something running alongside on the inside, so that the hole is not gonna be as large as it is. Imagine a tunnel of sorts. So the Buick's unit is probably gonna sit here in the back, I guess. Then the servo is of course here, and the motor for the gear change is gonna be between them, something like that. We're gonna see how we're gonna package that. I need to have the parts here, see how big they are, how heavy they are, and then we're gonna decide. So yeah, that's nice. Now I need to convince, not convince, find basically the pictures that Christian sent with the elongated back, so that we know how long this has to be, and then we proceed. Okay, I'm gonna use half a stud something here, and then this as the final part of the roof. Okay, so that's it for today, and I think we did actually more than I anticipated. Over the weekend, of course, I'm gonna now order many parts that we need, for this and the Sierra, of course, so that we can finish something. Um, and then we continue. On Monday, we are gonna start the front, and I think we should start with a gearbox concept. Before we have a gearbox concept and a gear change concept, I think it's not really how should I put it? It doesn't matter what we do here. So not gonna do anything important here before we know how to do the gear change. Once we know that, then we can fill this and put the brace in and all of that. And of course, determine where the motor is gonna be. Hey Christian, I have not. I have not ordered anything yet. Um, I got some money from a company, uh, vacation money, whatever, and most of that is gonna go for this. Yeah. Um, and here in the rear, I just noticed that I made a tiny mistake. Um, see, on Christian's drawings, uh, there's no um, there's no plate here. I use the plate, and then I, with the help of the elements here, I eyeballed where the angle of the C pillar. When I take this away, of course, the angle is slightly wrong, slightly. But since nobody's gonna be able to tell, it's okay, I guess. I mean, it's probably gonna be okay. If not, yeah, we are gonna tweak this a little bit. But this looks and feels alright. Of course, once we have the wheels and this is on wheels, we are gonna see how much this is alright, because I can already see there's some bendy action going on here. But as I said, once we make a connection between those two here as part of the windscreen border, it's gonna be a lot less, and we're gonna be able to live with it. It's never gonna be as stiff as a larger scale car, because keep in mind that we are trying to incorporate a lot of detail in a relatively small car, and we are gonna try to make it rigid as well, because keep in mind that most cars at this scale have this part here inside completely built up with structure. Ours doesn't. Ours has nothing in there. It's literally empty, and still it's pretty stiff. So I think that's already an achievement in itself, and it's still relatively light. And look at all the space that we have here. It's actually more than I thought we would have. So yeah. It's gonna be fine. Probably. And the rear, of course, yeah, we need to tweak this, because I think, yeah, the springs are not in the right position. The springs need to be further out. one step further out. I think all of the space for things, and of course we're gonna fill it up, but it doesn't matter. I mean, there's so much space that would be normally filled with structure, and here it is. Um, yeah. So that's it for today, and we continue on Monday. As for weekend streams, I don't know. Depends on how I feel, the weather, all of that. Because this week, Monday was very hot, Tuesday was extremely hot, and Wednesday was the same, it's hot, and then it cooled down. Now it's very fine. The temperatures now are pretty enjoyable. But on Tuesday, sweat was pouring out of me. I couldn't stream. And this room in particular is a little hotter than the other rooms because there's little ventilation. No, it wasn't happening. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope I see you on Monday.